Here in the top right corner of the map, up one in this series, best of 5. It is mouz.HOpe.
And his opponent, can he even it up in this next game? It is the Red Terran, Sonic.
And I do want to point out something that we really overlooked in that first game. You know what that was?
What?
Hope. You can't spell hope without OP. Wait. No, but really, so just the best, the best decision making coming out of him for that game. He saw the Hellbats. Actually, we don't know whether he saw the Hellbats on confirmation, but I think he had a pretty damn good idea Sonic was coming with them because he took very little to no damage from any of those drops, and it takes a certain breed of Zerg player to be able to have that level of control, especially on a map like Neoplanet S. There's no easy mode Watchtower. The Overlord spread was thin at best, but still he was on top of every one of those drops.
Yeah, absolutely. And he didn't really have any hiccups in his macro as a result of that either. He was really, really on the ball. The creep spread was sensational as well. So expecting big things from him in this game. Not sure if Sonic's going to be able to take it, but like you mentioned earlier, he did just come off the 2-0 win against Teffel, who was also an absolutely sick Zerg player. So he can still bring it back yet.
The other thing too for Sonic, okay, he's going for a very standard opening this time. I do enjoy that on Daybreak, but I'm a little shocked at the lack of drops last game. I feel if he had a couple more drops going at the same time, he would have caused crazy damage opposed to no damage. It's weird how that dynamic is, but that's the real truth of it.
Yeah, I mean, he's really persistent with the drops, to be truthful. But like you mentioned, he needs to do 2 at a time as well as pushing, not just the 1, because Hope was having too much of an easy time dealing with that, as it were. So maybe he'll change that up in this next game. Looks like he's going for the Reaper opening once again after the CC first.
Yeah, this is pretty much as standard gets for Terran. You go for the early command center, you will eventually get on the low ground. You'll get sometimes 2 racks, sometimes 3, with a 3rd command center behind this. We joke and talk about it. It used to be greedy, now it's standard, and quite frankly, it's the best way to open versus Zerg. It used to be Hellion Banshee because you needed to cause that damage because there's no way to really fight that late game head on with the Zerg player, but now Terrans can, thanks to Widowmines, thanks to all these new abilities like Hellbats have. Well, I say Hellbats have, Hellions have the ability to turn into Hellbats, whatever. Point is, Terran players can more comfortably play in the late game, so it's easier for them to early open greedy to get to that late game.
Yeah, definitely, and the Widowmine's such a huge factor in that as well. And all these drop tactics have been just so popular for getting Terran to that mid to late game, getting 3 bases without getting touched by the Zerg. So hopefully that's what Sonic can make happen in this game.
Opening with the Reactored Hellions, always good. Surprised though that we don't have more Reapers making their way into the field. I mean, the Reaper bunker positioning, it can do so much damage. And there's a reason that it does a lot of damage, because it's really abusive, and I'm surprised Sonic isn't capitalizing on that. Not that his opening is bad by any means, and not that going for Reapers would necessarily win him the game, but it seems to be what every Terran player goes for, ZVT.
Yeah, well, I guess it's just switching it up for the timing. He's moving out with a couple of Marines, looking for those links. Unfortunately, he won't really be able to go out on the map and look for some Overlords. Hope already has 3 Overlords well positioned to see pretty much everything that's going to come across the map. I mean, he doesn't have one over the natural ledge, but he has one going into the main and 2 on the main ramps, on those little blue boxes, which makes it pretty much impossible to see unless you have those medevacs and you're paying attention. So he'll know what's coming at him at any given point in this game.
I'm a little shocked that we have supply being called down already.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, that's right here at the main ramp.
Oh.
Now, I'm sure some of you are like, why are these guys making a deal about this? That supply depot being called down like that is essentially 250 minerals, well, I guess 150 minerals in the hole that Sonic no longer has that he really should have spent on a mule. And really, you call down supply if you're panicking, if you know there's a big hit coming, or if you're worried about a big hit coming. So, Sonic with a little bit of... Unless he was trying to crank out extra Hellions, which seems to be the case, even then, I can't justify why he would have done that. But it's not that big of a deal. It's only 1. It's weird. It's different. And it's not good, but it's not bad.
Yeah, well, it happens. I mean, I wasn't really paying attention to the supply, but it could have been supply block for a little while. Nice scout timing from the Overlord. It will see this command center. Yeah, it sees the third command center. It sees the extra racks on the factory and stuff. So you can pretty much safely assume what he's going up against at this point.
Sonic with a very nice amount of Hellions here too. The creep spread could be something he can start to shut down. If he's as smart as Pult is, he may just attack the rocks knowing that creep tumors are there, but never mind. It's always dodgy. I mean, if you've never played with Hellions, they seem like they're so much better than they really are. They're so fragile though. Queens kill them very quickly, and it's very frustrating.
Yeah, 2 down here to meet the Hellions. They're going to save that drone. And the third queen even popping out at that point. You can start spinning creep from the third too. I think Sonic is really just waiting to spot some creep tumors leaping across before he goes and tries to fry them. Because at the moment they're not really too much of a threat. They've only spread a little bit down the ramp, which isn't much of a big deal.
Yeah, third command center now moving out, going to try and take this base. Luckily there is nothing there to deny it. Often you'll see a Zergling lingering about, or Overlord creep, something really annoying. But for once in his life, Sonic is going to find a ZVT. He can just casually take his third.
And unfortunately, Sonic spotted the creep tumors jumping as soon as he left, so he had to race back.
Oh my god.
That time was too late.
10 Hellions now on the field. Right now,
yeah,
they could actually take on these Queens head on. They could take on the Zerglings head on. There's actually, without roaches, nothing to really stop this. If Sonic went to the third, he'd get some free Queen kills. Go for the creep tumors instead. Not a bad choice, but man, this is... I don't want him to waste these Hellions, because as more and more builds up, they become less and less effective.
As long as he keeps those alive though, and his bioproduction starts to kick in, he will be able to follow up with a really nice Hellion Marine push that can be really, really deadly. He's also got the Armory coming along. So we may see some Hellbat additions in a little bit, but as well that will serve for the +2/+2 upgrades. Can he get some damage done?
If he could snipe off those Banelings, that would be huge. The Zerglings are whatever. The Banelings, though, without speed, have got to be the focus of Hope's ire. Or sorry, Sonic's ire. He will snipe off all of the Zerglings. Get actually all of the Banelings now, too. And 2 slow Queens of Creep awkwardly don't know what to do.
Yeah, getting a bit ballsy there. They could have gotten taken out. Really nice Hellion control from Sonic, minimizing the damage, taking out a lot of Lings as well.
I don't know what Hope's thought process there was, though. I mean... if he was going to go for a counterattack and he knew the Hellions were in the south, take your Banelings, your slow Banelings, over through the north. To push through the south like that, I really don't know what was going on there, but we got a 4th base coming out of Hope, some magnificent creep spread. And this game is already starting to look a little out of hand. Sonic can't just keep sitting back like this. In fact, this base is going to be under some pressure. Marines will kill the Zerglings off, but they've now scouted that there's very little defense there.
Yeah, I think he's fine for now. What would be cool if he starts trying to push out and deny that 4th base, because right now they're on even bases, so if he can keep Hope on the same amount of bases as him, he will be absolutely fine in this game and be able to perhaps push an advantage that way.
Mutalisks are here, Marines stimming to try and catch this Overlord. But these Mutalisks actually can't really take this fight. There's too many Marines with stim back here. They don't have combat, actually they do have combat shields as well, so...
oh no!
Ooh, some nice stutter step. Gets 2 of those Mutalisks for free.
Yeah, really nice job there by Sonic. Only assuming a few units to go for those as well.
I really wish you could change the music in StarCraft. Like, I know that they've got the default... I'm actually fine with all the default background music they have, but I want to get the epic stuff up for like when battles are happening or small engages like that.
Yeah, I never played with the music on. I can't stand it actually. I like it when I'm watching, but...
I feel the exact same way. It's distracting when you're playing, but when you're watching and casting, I think it's so necessary. But Mutalisks are going to be met with some turrets here. Hope trying to get in here, but a really nice defense set up by Sonic.
Yeah, Sonic really well prepared. But once that +1 attack finishes for those meters, that'll be Hope's window to actually try and take out some of those missile turrets so that he can get to those add-ons and cause a bit of damage potentially.
Well, there are Banelings out now, and they do have speed, and the problem is nothing outruns Banelings with speed on creep, not even stimmed Marines, so this army is looking to be in a bit of trouble. A hot spot of bother, if you will.
Yeah, a huge attack coming in from Hope, and
he
he
just wiped out.
No problem.
Decimated entirely. A drop in the main will pick off this queen, but the response time is very quick, and these Zerglings, it is 2-2 to 2-1. We see a massacre currently going on.
Yeah, that is it. And there's a ton left over for Hope as well. He is about 45 supply up right now. And he could potentially try and counterattack, put some pressure in at third. He could even morph a bunch of Banes outside the natural and go for a bust. There's that little out for Sonic right now.
If every single one of these Zerglings... Oh my god, there we go, 24 on the way. If every single one of these Zerglings becomes a Baneling, not even the Widow Mines will be enough to stop this.
Yeah, all he has to do is bait a couple of hits. Even if the Mutas take that, it'll be fine. I don't think 2 hits actually kills a Mutaball.
I think it's 4 total unique because the splash damage is low. Could be 3, but either way, we're about to find out. Two is gonna, oh my god, take a lot of damage here. Zergling's taking most of the damage, but here come the Banelings to just once again push right into and force their way like a Play-Doh being squeezed through a mold. We have the green just pushing into the red, and Sonic taking such massive damage here from Hope. Oh, the Widow, the SCV line getting annihilated. These Banelings are picking off so much.
Huge hits. The bunker and the natural doesn't quite go down yet, but the Banelings are going to come in and finish that off and take down a huge amount of SCVs with it, and the bunker finally does fall. 33 workers killed.
There's a lot of orbitals on the field though, so the resource income, not that scary of a loss if he keeps the gases saturated and continue his production, but that was definitely not good for Mr. Sonic at all, no matter how you try and paint that.
Yeah, and we have a nice bank for Hope as well. Ultra's Cavern getting very close to finish, so he'll be able to just wait for the Ultras to come out and then go again and deliver a death punch.
It's, you know what, like, I'm sorry, this is so cocky and lame to compliment myself, but I just realized, like, referring to that push as like Play-Doh being pushed through a mold was pretty much like the best way I think I could have described anything ever. Because that's what's been happening. Game 1 and now here in Game 2.
Another drop being cleaned up by Hope, just so on top of it with his mutas and units. Nothing really able to get through and doing damage, even though he has no static defense. We've got 4 Ultras about to pop out.
This is going to be sick. Hope, guys, Hope is running rampant over top of Sonic. Sonic, if he had, I mean, the creep spread. I've always called it that secondary silent indicator of how well a Zerg player is doing in the game, and well, it's pretty much in the base of Sonic at this point.
Yeah, definitely. And Sonic kind of moves forward, sees the creep, and he backs out, and he's like, no, I kind of need something to happen here. And then in he goes. Widow Mine's not quite burrowed close enough yet. The back half gets demolished, but there's nothing to answer for these Ultras.
The Marines actually taking on the Ultras is so weird and surreal to look at, but it's working. Bailey's not doing nearly as much damage as they have in the past, but these medevacs are pretty much non-existent here. These poor Marines squished against the Vespian Kaiser.
Yeah, the last few Ultras roll in and they start taking out the Widow Mines before they can finish.
Of course, Ultras take about 5 or 4 Widow Mine hits. I think it's 5 to go down, so
yeah, 5.
They are very comfortable with Transfuses to boot. Will soak all of these hits very nicely. Now this base is not quite a planetary. He can get in here and kill this.
He sure can. Gotta be careful with the overseers. Definitely needs those against the Widow Mines, but here come the reinforcements from
The transfuse control out of Hope is so good, keeping these Ultras alive far longer than they should be.
The planetary goes down, as do the rest of the SCVs, and more reinforcements stream across the map. GG from Sonic.
And 40 workers killed there at the end. Had to go stop to check.